Welcome everybody. It's finished at Craven Cottage. Fulham won, Tottenham won. Fulham win 5-4 on penalties. Spurs out of the Carabao Cup before deadline days even finished. I'm joined by Haz from Southview Coys, mate. Let's delve straight into this and let's go through all of it, mate. What are your take on it? I'd like to know your take straight away on it.
Look, straight away, I'm gutted. I thought this was an opportunity for us to have a good cup run, especially with the football that we've been playing. I thought it was an ideal opportunity. Carabao Cup, you don't have to play many games to get to the final or get far in the competition. I just think making too many changes, 9 in this case, too much, and ultimately it's ended up costing us there. But I'm just gutted. In a nutshell, gutted tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the key word, gutted. I thought we had no European football this season, so you thought, do you know what? There's no real excuses to push in these cup competitions. The manager has to take full responsibility for this. I don't want to hear it about Daniel Levy, individual players. The manager's got to take full responsibility for this. He picked an 11 with 9 changes. Did he need to make 9 changes? No. I think we can agree on that one. Fulham made only 4 changes, and one of them was forced upon him because their player got suspended on the weekend.
Well, even their manager got suspended and was sitting.
And their manager got suspended and he was in the stands.
For me, they had a great result against Arsenal on the weekend. Went down to 10 men, showed resilience, showed that they can, keep Arsenal out for long periods. And despite having 10 men, they got a result. Obviously, being a home game as well, they were buoyed by that. They were always going to be up for this game. We should have known that from the start, really. I can't really blame anyone else but Ange, because he's been given players at his disposal.
Yeah.
It was up to him whether he was going to go with a strong first team squad or whether he was going to go with a second string. By my understanding, he's come out after the game to say he wanted to find out more about his players. But look, we've seen enough of these players to know that they just aren't good enough. Hopefully, if we can have something good come out of this, it'll be that he can learn from it. And now, hopefully, he knows who he absolutely cannot trust, because for me, that was poor. And in any other competition, in the FA Cup, he's got to go with a strong squad. I'm sorry.
I can't disagree with you at all, mate. And we were on the watch along. Me, you, Sava, Steve, we were watching this and we saw it unfolding. The first half, we went, we're getting battered here. I mean, we could have, if Fulham took their chances, we could have been 3-0 down at half time and we wouldn't have gone with that. We don't deserve to be. We were awful. That our right hand side got absolutely destroyed from minute one. Emerson Royale and Davinson Sanchez got absolutely destroyed on that right-hand side from that first half. I don't understand how they stayed on the pitch, right? How Davinson Sanchez stayed on the pitch. People will sit there and go, oh, Sanchez missed the penalty bar. He could have been on the pitch from minute one, right? Let's be honest, he shouldn't have been.
I mean, started the game with some calamitous errors, to be honest. Every time he tried to play the ball out towards the right, it was either too short, it put his colleague in trouble, namely Solomon, and then I can't remember who it was, but, just playing sloppy balls in the first half. For the goal, he got turned inside out repeatedly by Declan Overy.
Yeah.
Ball comes in, and then it comes off Van der Ven, goes in, All these things can't be overlooked. It just can't be overlooked. We've witnessed this year after year now.
Agreed.
And, for the sake of saving a couple of mil here and there, I just think he should have been sold on from last season, if I'm being honest. But now, obviously, like I said to you, Andrew's got to look at this and think, right, can I trust this guy to come in if we get an injury to our regular 2? No. The short answer is no. I would trust Phillips, an 18-year-old who's come from a league below, to come in and do a better job than Sanchez at this point, if I'm being honest with you. Mate. I'll give Sanchez his flowers for a couple of decent tackles he made during the game, but look, that's to be expected of any defender,
I expect my defenders to make tackles, right? Yeah, exactly. I wanted to sort of break it down because we move a little bit further forward. I thought no one in that back four really had a good game. I thought Van der Ven tried. He did some real positive things, but let's be honest, he's got Ben Davies out on that left-hand side. Why? One of the key things is and I'll sort of bring this up. When the lineup came out, me and you said, I said, not one of the new selected captains is captain. That worried me. I went, that was alarm bells. I went, he's dropped Son, Maddison, and Romero. Not one of them played. Not one of the senior captains or leaders are on the pitch. The ones that the manager has given that responsibility to, he's given it to Ben Davies. For me, that was alarm bell number one. And I went, I looked at, and I think you said when we're going to be in for a long night. I think it was you that said, I think we could be in here for a long night here. You even said you predicted we'll toe to penalties. And
yeah.
And I sat back. Yeah. So yeah, go. Sorry.
No, I mean, look, as soon as we saw the lineup, we saw that, you know, Van der Ven's playing at the back with Sanchez, the two, the right back and the left back. You just knew it was going to be a long night, especially with Skip. I said from the beginning, Skip and Højbjerg playing together, there's just no creativity going forward. It's just going to be sideways passing, going backwards at every opportunity and trying to go round rather than through the middle.
Yeah.
We saw when Maddison come on, when Sarr come on, Kulusevski come on, you saw the difference in quality immediately with Maddison making some excellent balls through, Son running at his defenders. You know, look, it was today, what it showed was that the difference between the two sets of teams, I'll say two sets, is night and day. There's no sort of middle ground. It's night and day. So, yeah, I think, you know, you can't really blame Van der Ven. You know, he's only been at the club for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And he's performed well.
I mean, Van der Ven's a good example here. This is a player, by the way, that has joined, 3 weeks at the club. And he's thrown into that back four with players that are incompetent. And I'll say it, incompetent. Working forward, that midfield, awful. As you said, Skip, Højbjerg, awful. Lo Celso did nothing. I thought Perisic was okay, but very, very sloppy. Manor Solomon in the first half was non-existent. Second half, he looked a lot better second half when we changed the shape. But we've got to remember, the manager at half-time went, do you know what? I'm going to bring on a 19-year-old kid. Let's just put it frank here. Listen, I love Ange Postecoglou. I think he's the right man for this job at this club. But his decisions were very baffling. The starting lineup was wrong. He then made his only change was to hook Lo Celso and then put on Dane Scarlett. For me, the sub that had to be made was James Maddison, right? Yeah, it for me, that was that change had to happen. If he made one more or two more or whatever, but he had to bring James Maddison on at half time, right?
I agree. I think we were lacking that creative spark. There was nothing through the middle to knit everything up. You know, in the first half, there was nothing. That's why they were playing out around the sides, trying to go back in, trying to feed the ball out to the wings. They were being closed off. Maddison gives you that extra creativity in the middle as well as having your wingers. So for me, I just think it was a bit dubious that, you know, he's put Scarlett on instead of Lo Celso. I would have taken off one of Højbjerg or Skip, put on Maddison there with Lo Celso, Maddison, and one other. But look, I always say this in anything in life. I think incompetence breeds incompetence. My only worry is that, you know, I don't want to see Van der Ven playing at the back with the likes of Sanchez or Dyer, because that rubs off onto other players. We've proved this before when we had our defenders at the back, Vertonghen and Alderweireld, how well they played together. You know, two quality defenders. They really put a foot wrong, didn't they? But as soon as you put two bad players or a bad player with someone of decent quality, it sort of drags them down as well, because they're having to do stuff that they don't need to now. You know, because Sanchez is incompetent, Van der Ven's now having to play out of position, or he's trying to make last-ditch tackles. You know, he's taking him out of his sort of comfort zone. So for me, it was, look, Ange is the man at the helm. Obviously, we back him 100%. You know, we could talk about he should have done X, Y, Z. At the end of the day, you know, he's the one who's calling all the shots. And the reason that he's given us is that he wants to see more of these players and see what they can do. Well,
but yeah,
you know,
don't do it in a knockout competition, right?
In the quotes of a famous internet man, you know, if you F around, then you'll find out. I think most people know that guy.
I agree, and I'll leave you on this. This is the final bit. Thanks, Haz, for coming on, of course, mate. And listen, I think we're both gutted. We're both watching it together on stream, and I'm going to end on this bit. Now, there's no excuses to hold on to all of these players. There is no more excuses. We are going to be playing. I know we said at the start we're playing one game a week now without European football. That necessarily wasn't exactly true because you have cup games. Now we're playing one game a week now up until the end of January when the FA Cup third round happens. That's when we go in the third round, right? So there's no excuses. And I mean it. There is no excuses. The likes of Højbjerg, Sanchez, heck, I don't even care, Emerson Royale at this point. If 5 or 6 players have to go out from now until Friday evening. And on that note, mate, as I've said, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Please go over to Southby Coys as well, guys, if you're still here, and go and subscribe to these guys. And thank you very much, mate, for coming on. We bounce back. We go to Burnley on Saturday when the window closes. Hopefully, we've got some more players because we can't deal with this amount of awful players anymore. Listen, Andrew's got a lesson to learn. I hope he's learned it. He can't do it again. That's what this is, a black mark. I said it, black mark on his record at Tottenham. You've fallen in the trap. And listen, I always say this. People go, "Oh, you hate Conte for this." I hate if the manager's going to keep doing it. I will have a go at the manager for doing it. This isn't on anyone else, barring the manager, for me. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. And please smash likes, please subscribe, share all the content out. Go over to Southby Coys again, of course. Thank you very much, guys. And I will see you later. Ciao. Bye.